Here's news now. I am Omobolanle Adeshui. A federal high court in Abuja on Wednesday refused to admit the bail plea of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, NNAMDI Kanu. Justice Binta Nyako, in a ruling, held that since Kanu was earlier granted bail in 2017 and jumped the bail, the court must first determine the real reason he jumped bail before applying for another one. Justice Nyako then dismissed the application for bail. The court had on April 8 exonerated the federal government on the allegation that the leader of the IPOB was forcefully abducted abroad to stand his trial. Nyako, in the ruling, held that rendition for the purpose of criminal investigation is allowed. Nyako said since Kanu was a bench warrant, the law allowed that anywhere he is cited, he can be arrested and be brought to face his trial. The judge who dismissed Kanu's move to challenge the terrorism charge upheld 7 counts in the fresh charge filed by the federal government against the IPOB leader. Nyako said the federal government, through the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, had been able to establish some allegations against Kanu in counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 15. Vice President OSINBAJO has stressed the need for Nigerians to create a country that works for all, a peaceful and secure society founded on law and order and the rule of law. The Vice President, who spoke in Abuja after receiving the Award of Leadership Person of the Year by the leadership newspapers, craved for a society that enables commerce and values productivity so that large and small businesses would grow and provide jobs and opportunities for millions of young people, a society where no one is left behind. OSINBAJO noted that leadership must also create a country that can provide, by means of an effective social welfare scheme, a safety net for the very poor and the vulnerable, a united and tolerant nation where all, irrespective of ethnicity, religion, or political persuasion, are respected, treated fairly and justly, and have equal access to all opportunities. OSINBAJO dedicated the award to millions of Nigerians who believed in the new Nigeria and who retain faith in the possibilities as a people and are doing their best every day in their various corners to build a nation through honest endeavor. And the United States government has warned that it will impose visa restrictions on politicians caught promoting electoral violence, a policy it resumed after the 2019 elections. This was disclosed by America's Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Africa, Michael Gonzalez, at a conference themed, quote, United States Policy and Nigeria's National Decisions in the 2023 Elections, end quote, held at Johns Hopkins University, United States. The Deputy Assistant added that visa restrictions were warranted to dissuade those who may be tempted to use violence to undermine Nigeria's democratic process. Gonzalez stated that the U.S. government will continue to use messaging as well as other diplomatic channels at its disposal, including visa restrictions, where warranted, to dissuade those who may be tempted to use violence to undermine Nigeria's democratic process. And former Nigerian Senate President PIUS has promised to build the required consensus to drive the nation forward if elected as the next president. The former secretary to the government of the Federation made this known in Ibadan shortly before he met with Southwest delegates of the People's Democratic Party, where he sought their support ahead of his party's presidential primaries.
We now left this side and the military came. And the military now imposed the structure we are in today. Now they imposed it on the people and it could not work. That is why we are complaining today. PDP Southwest, the great boss of the nation. I want you to know that building consensus on a new foundation for national development is possible, and I can only be the architect. When I came to the Senate, became president of the Senate, it was crisis upon crisis, because that was the first civilian administration after the military. So everything was upside down. We couldn't just take off on the structure the military left. But the first state president came, he couldn't survive it. It was removed. The second.
And as Nigerians prepare for the 2023 general elections, some stakeholders in Lagos State have continued to advise youth across the country to shun all forms of violence and thuggery. IBrandTV's senior reporter, IBrandTV, has further details.
Pre-election, election and post-election violence are some of the negative aspects in the conduct of elections in Nigeria. These respondents were advocating for youth participation in the forthcoming elections said though standards of living in the country is high and challenging, the youth should be firm in ensuring that they are not seen as readily available tools in the hands of politicians.
Youth are ready to support the country to move ahead. But the only challenge is the fact that youth have been left behind. They see themselves have been left behind. Whereby you have the political class taking over the whole thing in terms of, you can't even contest in the big, the way it is now in the big political parties. Like you have the two big political parties particularly. How much do you have as youth that you want to compete?
These politicians that are paying the youth to go and constitute nuisance in neighborhood, their children are not here. So we should not risk our life because of monies. We have a long way to go than to just risk our life because of pennies. So I want the youth should not go and cause any havoc in the neighborhood.
Several election violence over the years in Nigeria have led to the loss of lives and property.
The compelling situation in the country continue to make this, an issue. Whereby you have to think of, okay, how do you survive yourself? There's nothing you have, all the amenities, you don't have them on the platter of gold. They're not even available. You talk of power, talk of employment about 33%.
The respondents also condemned the growing trend of vote buying during elections. IBrandTV reporting for IBrandTV News.
And to other stories, the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has postponed indefinitely its section on public interest and development law conference scheduled for Sokoto following the May 12 lynching of a student of the Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto State, Deborah. NBA President Olumide Akpata, who made this known in a statement, said the postponement was not only for the safety of the conference and guests in the wake of the volatile security situation in the state, but also as a mark of respect for Deborah's memory. The recent call for food subsidy in the country by Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has continued to generate more reactions among Nigerians. IBrandTV senior reporter IBrandTV reports that the statement is now generating divergent opinions from the public.
We should please plead and put pressure on federal authorities that rather than subsidizing things like petrol, we should move those subsidies to food so that people can eat. People need to eat before they can move. It's something of priority, it's something of concern, it's something that's giving us sleepless nights.
That statement by Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki on the need for the federal government to rather subsidize food items and commodities that directly affects the common man than subsidizing fuel. This, Nigerians said, would be a step in the right direction following the continuous hike in the prices of food items. They said Guinea corn now sells for as much as between 19,000 to 21,000 naira, while millet is sold for 18,000 to 18,500 naira. Others are maize 19,000 to 20,000, while red beans is between 40,000 to 41,000 naira. White beans 36,000 to 38,000 naira, amongst others. Hence, the need to support the call by the governor to subsidize food items.
That's not the way it's supposed to be. I know that there is an inflation all over the world, but other countries, their government are subsidizing for the citizens. But here, the case is another thing. If the federal government can follow it up, it's better, because when you subsidize fuel mainly for the rich, not for the poor. but the food is what the common man needs. So if the food is cheaper, everybody will be happy. If you make ₦1, that ₦1 will be enough for you to at least get something. Even if they pay you minimum wage, you cannot get you anything. So I support what Governor OBASEKI'S said.
The situation of this country, I just don't understand it. You understand? Nothing is moving at all. The economies of this country are so bad. In fairness, I'm short of words.
To some Nigerians, subsidizing food items will increase the inflation rate, which is already on the high side in the country, and will be counterproductive.
If you don't subsidize all this oil something, it will still boil down to inflation again, because you need the oil to transport all these food items. Be that as it means, we know what causes all these inflations something. Apart from insecurity, all this political insecurity up and it's all over the world. And the other thing is that you have climate change something. See, Lake Chad now is dried up. By that time, we are short of fish. So there must be inflation. There's no doubt about it. Now, everybody now is now moving towards, gravitating towards the city. Nobody is going to agree.
Experts have projected that food prices will continue to be on the rise since farming has become unsustainable due to issues such as high cost of farming materials, flooding, and insecurity. IBrandTV reporting for IBrandTV News.
We'll take a commercial break now. When we come back, we'll bring you news from the African scene. Please stay with us.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blasphemy Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blasphemy family.
Thank you for joining us again. On the African scene, Libyan security forces in the country's western region said they have detained at least 300 migrants in the last week and 3,000 in the past 3 months. The arrests come as attempted sea crossings from Libya to Europe are expected to increase in the summer months and as the country faces growing political uncertainty. Colonel Ashraf Issa, commander of the SHUN Directorate Support Force, a local security body, said his force had arrested 300 in dawn raids targeting smuggling operations in May 10 in the town of Serman and Sabratha. He said at least 3,000 migrants had been arrested in the past 3 months as part of a wider operation. Libya has in recent years emerged as a popular, if extremely dangerous, route towards Europe for those fleeing poverty and conflict in Africa and the Middle East. The Kinshasa government said on Tuesday evening that it was premature to withdraw Ugandan troops present in the DRC to fight the ADF rebel group, stressing that such a decision, mentioned by Ugandan military officers, during the day was up to the heads of the two states. In a tweet, the head of the Ugandan army, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, said the operation launched jointly with the Congolese army at the end of November to fight the Allied Democratic Forces. Rebels was to last 6 months and would therefore end on May 31 unless otherwise instructed. However, in a second message on Twitter, he clarified that the operation will continue even for another 6 months if both Presidents Museveni and Tshisekedi decide to extend it. And on the foreign scene, Finland and Sweden formally applied to join the NATO alliance on Wednesday at Allied headquarters, a decision spurred by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but face objections from Turkey to an accession process that is expected to take only a few weeks. Neutral throughout the Cold War, Sweden's and Finland's decision to join NATO is one of the most significant changes in Europe's security architecture for decades, reflecting a sweeping shift in public opinion in the Nordic region since Russia's February 24 invasion. With applications formally submitted, the Nordic countries and their many backers now face uncertain months where any resistance to their bids needs to be overcome, with all 30 of NATO's members needing to approve the enlargement. Nearly 700 more Ukrainian fighters surrendered at the Mariupol steelworks in the past 24 hours, Russia said on Wednesday, but leaders were reported to still be holed up inside, delaying the final end of Europe's longest and bloodiest battle for decades. Russia's Ministry of Defense said the surrender of 694 more fighters meant a total of 959 people had now laid down their arms at the vast Azovstal steelworks, last bastion of Ukrainian defenders in the city. The leader of pro-Russian separatists in control of the area was quoted by a local news agency as saying the main commanders inside the plant had yet to surrender. Up next is sports news.
Paris Saint-Germain superstar Lionel Messi had reportedly agreed to acquire a 35% stake in MLS franchise Inter Miami FC and join the team as a player in 2023, but the news is completely false, according to his agent. Messi would have joined an ownership group that includes football legend David Beckham and Cuban-American businessmen Jorge and Jose Mas. Inter Miami was valued at between $600 million and $650 million in 2021, after the Mas brothers increased their stake by buying a 48% share from tech entrepreneur Marcelo Claure and SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son. A 35% stake in Inter Miami is estimated to be worth more than $200 million. Messi, bringing his talents to Miami, would follow the 34-year-old signing a 2-year, $41 million deal with PSG in August 2021. The deal included bonuses, a third-year option, and a reported $30 million signing bonus. Still talking sports business at this time, Barcelona is reportedly making major moves to dig itself out of the $1.57 billion debt it revealed last year and the fact that it was technically bankrupt. The club hopes to use new funds for signings and to help its balance sheet at the end of June 2020. At the end of June, the roughly $420 million it's seeking would come from two deals, as the club is looking to offer up 49% of Barca licensing and merchandising to Fanatics and Invest Industrial. The funds will be distributed throughout a decade-long period. The team is also auctioning off 49% of Barca Studios. Barcelona has been looking to sell part of Barca Studios since at least October of 2021. In March, Barcelona reportedly signed a lucrative partnership with Spotify that included naming rights for Camp Nou and kit sponsorships. Last year, members voted for a $1.69 billion renovation plan for Camp Nou, which the club estimates will eventually pay out $225.7 million in revenue each year. And finally, on sports business, the German Football League has awarded licenses worth in excess of 170 million euros for stickers, trading cards, and non-fungible tokens to 3 companies an increase of 280% on its previous deals. Starting from the 2023-2024 season, digital football platform OneFootball will be an official partner of the Bundesliga and have the rights to create digital trading cards and video moments NFTs that can be collected, traded, and sold on its area marketplace. Meanwhile, Sorari will have the exclusive rights to use NFTs based on the Bundesliga's players in a blockchain fantasy game, extending an initial 2-year deal agreed last October, while Tops gains the right to create physical digital stickers and trading card game and NFT equivalents. All three NFT-related deals will last for 2 years through to 2024-2025 season, with Tops' physical deal lasting until 2028-2029. Meanwhile, the partnership marks an evolution in the Bundesliga nascent NFT strategy and provides additional revenues for clubs across its 2 divisions. And that's it on Sports Business. I'm Samson Oloide.
And that rounds off a business now from IBrandTV Lagos. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Michael Nance.